if we look around ourselves and all the problems that there are in the world at the moment, an environmental crisis that doesn't seem to be solved, political, social, like so many issues that are around us, even still homeless people living in UK, which is incredible if you think about how rich the country is and why that still happens. And the question was, is creative problem solving in crisis? And the answer to that is often yes, for the conditions that we have created in our society at individual level, which then of course impacts everyone around us. So if we can move to the next slide, I'll explain that a little better. So this wonderful drawing by Dan Siegel, which is a psychologist that has focused mostly his studies and books on teens and children. He created this drawing to explain the brain very simply to kids and teenagers. So, if you take your hand, and you can do this every time you need, and then you take your thumb, and the thumb represents the limbic region where the amygdala sits. And we hear talk a lot about the amygdala these days because this is our alarm center. So back in the days when there was a danger, this would, kind of start beeping, wow, 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 like siren signs, and the top of the head will flip open, and then, blood will go to arms and legs because we will need to run. And that was the signal that we were in danger. And then, the danger was gone, and then we will go back, in our cave, eat what we had taken that day, and had a chance to relax. And some animals actually shake. I don't know if you've seen some of the animals when they shake this tension off. We never shake as humans, and sometimes it really helps. When you dance, you just get that energy going and get rid of any negative energy in the body. But we don't do any of that. And what happens to humans today is that although we're not under big danger, our prefrontal cortex, which is implicated with our creativity, with our problem solving, with all the higher functions, very often is flipped open. So we're not able to engage it because there are small dangers every day that come on our desk, on our plate. It might be that's email from a client. It might be that's something like a deadline. It might be an argument with someone either in work or home. So constantly stressed about something, looking at social media, the news. So all those are little signals that keep the amygdala very, very active and very busy, and don't let the prefrontal cortex close and do the job that it should be doing. So from that perspective, that is the reason why problem solving can become very difficult, both in our small world, when we think about our personal issues or our work issues, as well as at organization and society level. Let's move to next one. So, but, thankfully, there is the wonderful skills that we can acquire, life skills. And one of them, one of the primary ones that I truly believe in is resilience. And the resilience is normally described as the capacity to bounce back. So something happens to you, and then, you back after a bit, you bit like, a fighter that is hit and then bounces back. But that definition is quite limiting because actually resilience can be built over time. And it can be defined as a capacity to prepare for, recover from, and adapt to new circumstances in the phases of stress. And this is much more empowering because it means that if we have worked on our resilience and we have built our capacity, like a bucket, when we are faced by challenge, like the situation we are currently living, we're going to react very differently. So, if we ask people around us, we will probably find that every person will have a different answer to how they live in the situation that we're in. Some are extremely fearful, and some are actually reacting to it in a much more positive outlook. Of course, that also depends on personal circumstances, but a lot of it is depending on the resilience that we have built over time. If we go to next slide, so often resilience is associated with the physical one. So, am I flexible? Am I strong? And also mental. Do I have concentration capacity? Do I have capacity to focus? And the one that is very often ignored is the emotional sphere of resilience. And actually, the emotional sphere impacts all the other one much more than vice versa, and that's because emotions drain our battery much quicker than any mental issue or physical issue that we are encountering.